You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Tian He Hui. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm Chan, you were up, and let's go! Hey, are you finished or not? Texas wanted a drink, not a lecture. Can you speed it up a little? Kung Fu Cha prides itself on the processes and skills behind it. Since you're so bored with nothing to do, try learning something from it. I turned and noticed Mosiah was sitting next to me, his attention on the file folders in his hand. I don't know why it's called Kung Fu Cha. It's not a ritual performing tea brewing and Kung Fu at the same time. Whoever named this ceremony should make it match its name. You like drinking tea too, Mosiah? So. How could he manage to shut down an entire topic with a single sentence? Hey, whatever you ask of him of his interests, he will always reply it's so-so, unless it's something he likes, then he might say it's good. Tian He Hui sat there, speaking of Mosiah with sarcasm. Take a good look and record it down. Shouldn't these serve as a good reference for your writings? Seemingly uncaring of those sarcastic commentaries, Mosiah's reminder helped me in reminding me of my journey's purpose as well. Yeah, this is really good writing material. I should record it down for future writings. After pouring the tea leaves in the brewing bowl and closing the lid, Bai Yu shook it gently twice in his hand, then opened a slight crack again, before closing his eyes and smelling the fragrance within, leaving me confused. Using the warm cup's hot and wet oxygen to oxygenate the tea leaves, and the step of smelling the fragrance cannot be done by inhaling the air within the tea, but by smelling it. That's the goal of this step? Feels like Mosiah's mood improved after sitting down for the show. Is this step necessary? It's just tea smelling. What a bore. After mumbling a few words, the tiger laid his chin on the table and watched the resignation at Bai Yu's brewing. After finally putting down the covered tea bowl, Bai Yu picked up the public cup, full of hot water, and spun it. After a cycle of swirling, he began pouring the contents into each of the smaller cups on the table. During this process, you cannot raise your pinky while pouring, and the move must be done perfectly and without mistakes. Females can be excused because it's a sign of grace, but for males, pinky raising is a sign of tenderness that doesn't reflect well for the ritual. There's so much to ask for already. And with every small teacup, Bai Yu repeats the spinning move from earlier, and finally pours all the hot water from the small cups into the container next to it. Who cares about those? Quick, give me the water already! On this, I have to agree with Tian He Hui. Who knows how long before this series of procedures ends? I feel so impatient watching this. But just then, Mosiah's enmity and guard felt a little loose. Seems like he's one who enjoys a good tea show. Don't rush, the tea is almost done. Finally opening the tea bowl, he picked up the kettle and poured the hot water into the cup filled with tea leaves. Smoothing the tea, or waking the tea, is a step that is decided by the variants of the tea. Green tea variants like white fir or silver needles do not need too much water, as these tea leaves are tender and not suited to be soaked in water for long periods. Oh, yeah, you said this was green tea, right? Just look at the color. It's green. It must be green tea. Oh, I get it now. The means of categorizing the tea variants is through the color of the tea leaves, right? Not only through the color. Don't you dare mislead him. Teas are categorized based on various elements, the process in making tea leaf types, and their levels of fermentation. These elements ultimately divide the tea variants into 6 main groups: green, white, yellow, oolong, red, and black. Is there so many different types? I turned and saw the one who spoke was Colonel, who just finished his work. He walked to us with a relaxed expression on his face, as he pulled a stool over and sat down, though his appearance here did surprise me. I thought you went back to your room. Aw, you missed me after not seeing my mug even just for a while. Definitely not! Didn't you have something going on? How did you finish it that quickly? Oh, you mean that? That was just me heading off to prepare the bathhouse's nourishing medicine mixtures for the bath tonight. There was also the serum analysis Bai Yu asked me to do. That one did take me some time to finish. Oh. And now the tea leaves color is a light verdant green. A unique tea water color only seen in green teas. The more fermented tea leaves are the darker and the color they can produce. And with Mosiah's sudden commentary pulled me out of my and Colonel's bickering and got me refocused on the tea in front of me. I've heard that green tea causes bad reaction with current species from Moro. I suggest you not to drink it. Why not come and try some of my newly made medicine instead? I looked at his odd expression and knew what intention lied behind his weird look. The same trick won't work on me the second time. I saw through your trickery. You're lying to me, aren't you? Eh? I didn't get tricked here. I see. Not bad, not bad. You're getting smart after a few rounds. It seems you are impressionable after all. In a moment, Bayou poured out the finely made tea from the tea bowl into the public cups. As I looked closely, the tea water is lightly green, with a fresh fragrance emerging with wafts of delightful vapors. With a final flourish, he gracefully poured the tea into each of the smaller cups. Another point to mention when dividing the tea, the bottom of the cup shouldn't be pointing at the guests. Oh. Man, what's with all these rules and procedures? If it were up to me, this small jar ain't even enough to fill my stomach. It'll probably fill the gap in my teeth at best. Liquids can't fill your stomach, okay? Seeing as how impatient you are, why don't you perform a tea brewing ceremony for us then, Tian He? Ha! That's easy. I would finish the brew as soon as it's in the bowl. Who cares so much? Alright, y'all, give me a second. It is, in fact, water time. Alrighty, y'all, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Okay. A close bowl tea, I see. While different regions have different habits of tea drinking, today's performance is Kung Fu Cha and not that. After finishing his series of complicated movements, he bowed to us again, unbothered by the chitter-chatter between Tian He and Kurlno. Please enjoy, and try to taste for yourselves. Alright, thanks. As soon as I reached out for a small cup of tea, Mosea warned me with his authoritarian voice as I trembled in my seat. Remember, when tasting tea, the left hand holds the cup, and the right hand secures the cup in the palm. Do not mix it up. Alright, I'll remember it. My god, look at the time. Can you two stop being so fussy about the details here? While he complained about the annoyance of the customs, he still held his cup with his left while his right secures the base. Looks like he took to Mosea's words well in heart. I couldn't make a voice. As if I spoke a single wrong word, I would be judged by that blue dragon's piercing gaze. So I sat obediently on the stool, looking at everyone's actions and trying to remember the process myself. Next, Bayou took a cup from the table and lowered his head. He took a sip, closing his eyes before smiling. Not bad. Perfect temperature, the fragrance is undoubtedly a unique smell from freshly brewed green tea. I followed up as how Mosai instructed and imitated Bayou's actions, taking a sip. Not bad, but there were minor errors during the process, so I can't say it is perfectly done, with every rule followed. Not as bitter as I thought it would be. A little different from the red tea I've tried. Red tea's heavy flavor comes from the longer time of fermentation. The longer they are fermented, the stronger their taste. But bamboo green is a lightly fermented tea with a light fragrance, while white tea has some fresh fragrance. Each type of tea has its own taste. Tex, I just mentioned the 6 main types a while ago. Do you know how to recognize the different types of tea yet? If you answer right, there's a special reward for you. No idea. And if I do know, I don't want your reward. Who knows what kind of nasty concoction you prepared for me. Oh, I know the answer to this one. Try saying your answer then. Didn't you just mention it? It's the color of the tea water. Green tea produces green, right? Then red tea produces red. Yellow tea produces yellow. Black tea produces black. White tea produces white. And turtle tea produces turtle color. Are you certain that the last one is the correct name? That one is called oolong tea, actually. Now, while looking at the resulting tea color as one of the means to distinguish the tea type, your answer isn't fully correct. Indeed, white, green, and yellow tea all begin with a light yellow palette. From red tea onwards, oolong black tea produces a color of red and turns scarlet red. Otherwise, the means to distinguish tea types can be found in fragrance smelling and tea tasting. I give up. I can't keep up with you guys and your graceful customs. Sally's lemonade's waiting for me. Tex, if you're thirsty, drink mine too. As Tian He tried to pour his cup of tea into mine, his actions were stopped by a glare from a blue dragon present at the table. Tian He, I don't mind it here. Such action is very disrespectful. Make sure to not do it outside in public. Stop nagging me about it. Are you my nanny or what? Found it. Found what? Information logbook. Wait a minute. Mosea passed me a booklet and took a sip from the tea made by Bayou. I looked confused at the dragon, because I didn't know what to write in the logbook. What are you staring at me for? You're not trying to say you don't know how to write, are you? Eh? This is... Write down your personal information. Oh! Well, 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 who was the one who just said I wouldn't let Tex join us? And now who's the one that pulled out the logbook? You have a way of beating around the bush when you had such a sour face back then. An internship, not an official member. Fine. Here's a pen. As if he knew I didn't know how to use a writing brush, he passed me a pen and a bottle of ink. These small gestures, while they seem terrifying on the surface, he has quite a considerate and tender side. Then, to show respect, I shall follow his instructions. I took the pen and ink, dipped the pen into the ink, and began filling out the form. With Colonel's treatment of the wound, my left arm's wound no longer bothers me. Just like Tian He said, his medical skills are truly reassuring. Lemonade is ready! Just then, with the sounds of ice clinking in the cup, Sally carried cups of lemonade over on a serving plate and began passing each of us a cup before passing a jar of honey over as well. I don't know your taste preference, I only added a little bit of honey in. If you feel like it's still a little sour, I brought the honey as well so you can add more. Sorry to bother you so much here. If you feel the tea is a little bitter, try the lemonade for a change of taste. Alright. Lemonade is my favorite drink from my youth, and out of Bayou's suggestion, I took a cup as well. And from my first gulp, my teeth chattered and my face twitched a little as the sourness turned a little uncomfortable. Just as I went to grab the jar of honey awkwardly, I noticed the honey jar disappeared from the table. Eh? Where's the honey pot? Huh. Tian He, stop eating so much sweet stuff. Wait, Tian He, what are you doing? Tian He held the jar and began scooping out a large spoonful of honey and poured it into the cup. Which begs the question, what's with this cup? Why is this cup so much larger? Is it okay to put that much honey in the lemonade? Won't it be too sweet or what? Shouldn't this much count as a lethal dose of honey already? And so much lemonade, can he finish it? Does he even need this much, even when he didn't drink any tea? Eh? What are you saying? I just added a little. You call this a little? Huh, I think I'm finished here. Relax, there's enough left for you here. With an apologetic look, he passed the jar over, as if he knew he did go overboard with the honey. Awkwardness is carved all over his face. Only for me to look into the nearly empty jar. There's only a small portion of honey left at the bottom. Tian He, you... Ah, I used quite a bit of honey beforehand for my medicinal pills. I forgot to tell you guys. See, I already said so. I can't eat that much of myself anyway. There's only a little bit left in there since the start. Looks like honey is on the to-buy list of groceries at the marketplace tomorrow. I'm not blaming you or anything. Anyway, thanks. Having said that, having a little honey is better than sourness right now. Thinking of this, I took a little bit of honey over. Oh right, this honey is quite light flavored. If you prefer a sweeter flavor, just pour it all in. No need for that much, I just need to balance the sour taste a little here. By the way, Tex, do you like sweet food? I love it. Alright y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. I want to give a special thanks to all of our lovely patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!